Good afternoon, everyone. This is Henry with Simpler Trading, and in tonight's free video, I wanted to bring you an idea that should be a swing trade that I believe should be approached, somewhere between the next 3 to 8 weeks, let's say, which I know is a fairly broad, timing to give you, but I don't know exactly when this pattern will play out, but I believe there is a pattern here in the Homebuilders that is set up for lower prices. So we begin with the idea that to find moments in time where an underlying may be getting ready to move as opposed to trade sideways, we're looking for squeezes. You could also define it as periods of consolidation or compression. And that's, from one point of view, that's what's been happening here between 65 and 70. That's been the agreed upon price. That's been the range for the past 6 weeks. Well, that can only be the case for so long. And then XHB is either going to be a $70 to $75 product, or it's going to be a $64 to $58 product. And I am of the opinion that it's the lower end of those two. So you can use fibs, you can use the Voodoo Roadmap, which I really prefer. It shows that as long as this resistance continues to hold, then that 58 is going to be the target that we'll be looking for. You'll also see that the 1618 extent, this is measuring this swing low against this swing high, and it's the idea that if that bearish move will really kind of complete the swing, this is going to be your best target. Also note that as we saw strength in this to start off the week, you revert right back to the mean, right? Remaining below the daily 21 EMA generally keeps the current trend intact, and then back down at the lows. I think this is something that is getting ready to break. So with that, you can move into Restoration Hardware. Now, a little bit of a mix from their earnings report, right? Everyone was making the big to-do about the guidance and the softening demand, while simultaneously there is going to be a 3-for-1 stock split. I think I'm going to reserve any of my opinions of any of that and instead just show you that same way of thinking that says, as long as this resistance remains intact, then you're going to target the other end of this relationship, and that should take Restoration Hardware all the way down to 250. Similar to XHB, you take this idea and you say, okay, I can see that as a short. We could take out those lows and eventually get here. Inside that way of thinking, you still have to be willing to add to the short at the 21 EMA, right? So, don't short it at these lows and count yourself wrong up here, right? I think you really give this some time, and we should resolve down into those lower targets. And then the third symbol to give you that's all inside this same vein is Home Depot. So this too, you can see more of this Voodoo Roadmap way of thinking states that failure up here at this fire line, just like Restoration Hardware, should take you into the lower end of the range. Now, you don't have to set up the short for that entire move. You can manage it as you go, but I'm going to tell you at the very least, I think we should take this low out. And I like the idea of a measured move as well. Think about that when you look at this swing previously, right? We're going to measure, or I'll just draw it here with these screen tools, but you have a swing high to a swing low. If we measure that move and compare it to this swing high, to this swing low, you will find that they are similar. So in that same way of thinking, if these two look so closely to each other, I think there could be one more wave that unfolds in a similar fashion and takes you down to roughly about the 280, and that would be another spot to make your next round of decisions. So I hope that helps and gives you a few names to consider over the course of the next several weeks into the potential for, a couple of months, and we will update these charts as they go. Hey traders, this is Henry with simplertrading.com. I wanted to thank you for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful, and if so, be sure to click the like and subscribe buttons down below. If you would like to also see me putting these ideas into action and trading my own account live in front of you, be sure to sign up at simplertrading.com, and I hope to see you in the chat room sometime soon.